Sad to say that today is the last day of August. And with August coming to an end, that means, hold on. Well, that means kids go back to school soon and everything. So, let's see here. And summer's almost over, and it's sad to say that, well, September starts tomorrow. Summer's almost over, so kids go back to school, and football season's going to start soon. Yes, I really need to shave. And I want to tell you something. We have a lot to look for. Summer's going to get less busy and less crazy and everything. But let's face it. I've come through a long way in 2025. I really have. Making it one of the best years of my life since, well, almost mine. Well, because not counting 2020 and 21 because those were the pandemic years. Because I want to make 2025 one of the best years of my life. So, I was off to a really bad start in 2025. Because something, and it's also, I'm using a green screen of one of my, from one of my past photography sessions. That was, I think, during the pandemic. That was later on when we still had the pandemic with us. So, because I don't feel like using a regular screen I feel like using a green screen during this live update, this end of August update. So, for those who are tuning in, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I'm almost at 600 subscribers, and when I get to 600, oh hi, how are you? Do you like my background? Hello, Frank Perez. How is it? Ooh, 14 viewers. Nice. So as you may know, I was off to a bad start in 2025. Yeah, it does. Don't forget to subscribe because I'm 7 away from reaching 600. So let's get to 600 for today. Because once I'm at 600, then I'm less than halfway to 1K. Thank you so much. Keep it up, folks. You're all doing fantastic. So, let's see what's on the agenda for today. Yeah, today's the nice. That's wonderful. That's grand. So, as you may know, let's see what's on today's agenda. As you may know, today's last day of August. September starts, 007, like Bond, James Bond. James Bond. Yeah, like Mr. Bond. So, that was James Bond. He was a character in the movies. So, let's see. I'm going to talk about the agenda for today. As you may know, today's the last day of August, and September starts tomorrow. And excuse me. Sorry about that, folks. So, September starts tomorrow, and we're gonna go into the Burr months. Yep, the Burr months start tomorrow. September, October, November, December. That's nice. Yeah, that's nice. So, mine is more than 6 hours. So, yeah, it's almost like New Year's Eve. but we go into the burn months. Instead of the new year, we go into the burn months, the final 4 months of the year. Because, I was off to a bad start in 2025 because, well, one of the reasons why I was off to a bad start in the year is because there was an event that I wanted to go to. It's like a dance for people like myself with disabilities, you see. It's called the Night to Shine Prom, and they have it. And the Tim Tebow Foundation hosts the Night to Shine Prom once a year. I think in February. So, yeah, it's part of the Tim Tebow Foundation. His last name is spelled Tebow. Oh, 21 viewers. Oh, goody. Let's get me up to 600 subscribers because let's get me up to 600 as much as possible. Because let's get me up, because the sooner we get me up to 600, the closer I get to 1,000. And I'll be 400 away from 1,000 because I want to be able to reach that goal by the end of the year. So every moment counts. Remember that. Sure. And especially 1,000 by the end of the year. Because we need to get me up to 1,000. So, it is what it is. It's worth a shot, right? Right? I think so. Yes, let's do it. So, as you may know, I was off to a bad start in 2025, but I've had a lot of memorable moments after that gloomy night where I wanted to go to the Night to Shine Prom, where I wanted to dance the night away and wear a tux and everything. Yeah, it's not a high school prom. It's more like a prom for people that are 14 and up with disabilities, like myself, because I'm 35 and I'm going to be 36 in a few months. 36 is still considered a young adult. So, it is what it is. I don't even look 35 at all. I really don't. I look more like 25, to be honest. It is what it is. So, yeah, like I said about Tim Tebow's Night to Shine Prom. Really? I never thought of it that way. So. Oh, yes, thank you. So like I said, and the year continued to got better and better, especially with starting my photography business called Worth a Snapshot. So yeah, like Worth a Snapshot, it's my new photography business because I got into photography almost my entire actually since when I got my first iPhone. That's when I started going into photography. So. And that's what you're looking at in this live stream is one of my past photography sessions when I took a picture of that lake. Yeah, that's the lake right by where I used to live. Looks nice, doesn't it? Really does. So, and also, let's see what else I did throughout the year that was memorable. God. Let's see here. Although, what I'm thinking of, and also, yeah, it does. It really does. And as you may know, I also opened Etsy. In case you don't know what Etsy is, it's a platform where you sell like jewelry, artwork, your own materials and everything. And I'm going to start selling some of my photography works on it. It'll look lovely, my digital prints, and also I got to figure out how it works because, I'm not in, this will be my first time using Etsy because Yeah, because I'm not used to it. And you know, since I got into making art and such and photography, I want to be able to see how Etsy works because this is new to me. This is entirely new to me. So it is what it is, folks. It is what it is. Great. Do I sound like Popeye? I don't know. Because you know, Popeye says, I am what I am, and that's what I am. Well, thank you. Let's get me to 1,000 as much as possible. As you know, every subscriber counts. With every step of the way, we're all united. Nice. That's lovely. As you know, every which way, every subscriber counts, and we're all united as one. Wherever your heart goes, every second counts, and we're all united. United forever. Especially of what matters most is that we're all united together. So, yep, we're all united as one. So, okay, so, wonder how many subscribers I have right now because I don't want to end the live stream to see how many I have currently. So, because you know, I want to be able to reach up to 600, and once I get up to 600, the faster I'll get up to 1,000. Well, almost. Nice. I agree with you, I think. Oh, sleep well. Thanks for tuning in, Kanan Jones. Enjoy your night whenever you can. So, and as for me, I usually go to bed. Adios. Adios. Usually I go to bed around like 11, between 10:30 or 11. So, as you know, I like staying up late, so. Maybe. I have to check what I'm up to tomorrow, so. I used to do the same thing all the time. Yes, I used to do the same thing like all the friggin' time. Back when I used to live with my mom, before she passed away from her massive heart attack, that's what I used to do back in the day, is stay up till like past 1 or whatever. So that's what I used to do. Thank you for, as you know, life is tough without my mom physically. She it's been over 3 years since she passed away. So yeah, my mom is my biggest role model of my life. So let's see what else I have on the agenda for today as we go into the final 4 months of the year. Let's see, I'm trying to think. Oh, sorry, I had a big yawn coming in. Just, I had a long week. And you know, tomorrow's Labor Day. Not only tomorrow is the 1st of September, but it's also Labor Day. So, and you know, even though I'm saddened about summer coming to an end, what I'm thinking, because you know, ever since before the, what's Labor Day? Well, it's a holiday, and I'm not sure, I don't remember what it is, but I think it marks the unofficial end to summer. So, yeah, I think that's the, Jesus Christ, I can't stop yawning. Ugh. I can't stop yawning. I need a cup of coffee at this rate. At this rate, I might have to get a cup of coffee to keep myself awake. But what am I going to do? Because, you know, I can't drink caffeinated coffee because it'll keep me awake and yet tired at the same time. Because you know the side effects of regular coffee? Yeah, I don't think so. I like to stay up for a few more hours, but eventually get a second wind. Yeah, I'll eventually pack up a second wind. For sure. So, um, so, ooh, nice. I got some likes in my video. So, yeah, I made a nice background right there. That's from my past photography sessions. I think that was back when I was still living with my mom. Ooh, I got another like in my video. Oh, goody. Keep it up, folks. You're doing great. Let's get me up to 1,000 as quick as possible. Whatever you do, when you see that subscribe button, tap on or click on it whenever you see it, because let's get me up to that goal. Well, 600 is my current goal, but 1,000 is my milestone. So, and also, what does everyone think of my my cover photo for? Oh, excellent! Thank you so much, Kanan Jones. Yeah, he's back after So, thank you so much. 5 away. So I'm at 595 right now. Is that correct? 595? Whatever it is. Not sure. Yes, I'm 5 away from 600. So, thank you. Let's get me up to that goal. And the more, the better. And we will get me up to, let's see here. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. It sure makes it all worthwhile, doesn't it? So, let's get me up to 600 as much as possible. Thanks. Muchas gracias. So, and I've been speaking Spanish ever since when I was in 8th grade. And the one language that I want to be able to do learn next is Japanese, because I got to figure out because I got to learn how to speak Japanese and everything. Because when it comes to Japan, I'm into video games and anime. Nice. And what are your 6 languages that you speak? Because the next language I want to be able to learn is Japanese, because Japan's one of my favorite countries of all time, because it has that's where they made a lot of video games and anime and everything. Yeah, Japan, and their cities are so beautiful, like Tokyo and everything. Nice. That's lovely, for sure. I would love to visit Japan one day, but I can't afford it for now. So. And what's the DLC you wanted for ages? Just curious. Yeah, sometimes Japan and China can have earthquakes, and we all remember. I think all the way back in 2011, they had a really bad earthquake over in Japan. Yeah, I think that was. Let's see here. Yeah, that was all the way back in 2011 when Japan suffered a really bad earthquake. Yeah, that was back in 2011. So there you have it. So, but Japan overall is a beautiful country, especially at night when you're driving by and everything. Makes you feel like you're gonna fall asleep. It makes you sleepy just looking at it at times, especially when you ride by at night and everything. Flying Scotsman, nice. What game? Let's see here. The Flying Scotsman. As you know, yeah, sorry I got mistaken for the Flying Dutchman, from SpongeBob. Oh, nice. Yeah, I thought I was reading the comments, and I thought they were talking about the Flying Dutchman, from SpongeBob. And let me tell you something that I am not a fan of SpongeBob, period. And as mentioned earlier in one of my earlier live streams that I talked about how much, my hatred for SpongeBob. So, my hatred towards SpongeBob. Because, I am not a SpongeBob fan at all. And even when I was younger, it's just, how immature SpongeBob can be. Why do I hate SpongeBob? Because because he is really immature and he is really childish. And even Patrick is just as immature and childish as SpongeBob is. So, yes, that's why I hate SpongeBob, is because he's really immature and he's really childish. So, yeah, he is immature. Oh, nice. Flying Scotsman is 102 years. Is mayonnaise an instrument? What's that from? Let me guess. SpongeBob. Let me guess. SpongeBob. I'm not a SpongeBob fan. Because I don't like SpongeBob. I know it. I know it. You know how much I hate SpongeBob. Everyone knows that even when I was younger and back when SpongeBob premiered, I don't understand why I would watch him. Back in the day, I didn't know what I was thinking. I wanted to, back when I was younger, like in the early 2000s, every time when SpongeBob came on, I wanted to watch Cartoon Network instead. But I just insisted on Nickel. Well, I didn't. Well, because I didn't know what was on Cartoon Network back when the same time when SpongeBob was on. Back in the. Sounds like a UFO out there, doesn't it? Oh, thank you so much. Almost to 600, is that correct? You can hear, it's almost like you could sound like a UFO out there. Yeah, it kind of sounds like a UFO, doesn't it? Like an ET. Yeah, almost like an ET, the extraterrestrial. Where am I from? I'm from New Jersey. Yep, I am from New Jersey. So, nice. That's sad. But eventually you'll reach your goal just like I'm gonna as well. Okay, back to SpongeBob. I want to talk about my hatred towards SpongeBob. Oh, okay. I want to talk about how much I hate SpongeBob. Because back when in the early 2000s, when I was in my early teens, like 10, 11, 12, and every time when SpongeBob would air on Nickelodeon, I would insist on, I would recommend that I would put on Cartoon Network instead of Nickelodeon. Nice. That's lovely. So I would insist on putting on Cartoon Network on the same time, but back then, I didn't know what was airing on Cartoon Network on the same time SpongeBob was on Nickelodeon. Because, back then I didn't have the Disney Channel and everything. So my two choices, since I did not have the Disney Channel back in the early 2000s, was either Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon. So, and every time when SpongeBob would come on Nickelodeon, really? Because every time when SpongeBob would come on Nickelodeon, I would have a choice to stay on Nickelodeon or change to Cartoon Network. Because, even though, and sometimes I would even put Cartoon Network on and they would air more tolerable shows. Well, they have been trashed since like '04, ever since '04. So I would have a choice to stick with watching Sponge Jerk Idiot Pants or change to Cartoon Network. Oh, and I called him Sponge Jerk Idiot Pants. Sponge Jerk Idiot Pants. Get it? You know how much I hate SpongeBob. No. So raise your hand if you hate SpongeBob like I do. Let's see those hands raised if you hate SpongeBob. Yeah, I'm keeping my hand raised because, oh man, down with SpongeBob. Down with SpongeBob. Down with SpongeBob. Because you know, I am not a SpongeBob fan at all. And I've been hating him since he first premiered. Oh, hi. Nice. You raise your hand too because oh man, another SpongeBob hater in my comment section. Or Sponge Jerk Idiot Pants hater. I mean, I call him Sponge Jerk Idiot Pants. Yeah, Sponge Jerk Idiot Pants, I call him. But back then, I would put on Cartoon Network. I would insist on... But there are times when I would put Cartoon Network on, and the same time, SpongeBob would air on Nickelodeon. You know, especially that episode where I talked about where SpongeBob visits his grandmother's house, and he throws a baby tantrum throughout later on in the episode when he didn't want to grow up and everything. So that was the episode where he visits his grandma. Yeah, Cartoon Network used to be amazing. But, it used to be. So, all right, enough SpongeBob talk for now. Enough SpongeBob talk for now, or for tonight's live stream. So let's get me up to 1,000 subscribers as much as we can, because I'm closing into 600, and once we get up to 600, that means I'm closing in on my goal. Almost. So, what do you mean? Because you know, in 2025, I was off to a bad start myself. Because of things were just screwed up for me in the beginning of the year. But at least things are getting better. And it will continue to do so. All right, folks. I'm going to conclude my live stream. So do the right thing. Click the subscribe button. And let's get me to that goal as soon as we can. Enjoy your Labor Day, folks. And we'll see you next time. Take care. And God bless. And down with SpongeBob.